Going to talk about relapse. And this is really the issue. This is why we're all here, because nobody wants to relapse. Now, here's the bad news. If we take all the addicts and all the treatment places with all the drugs in all of the country and we check for treatment outcome, we find sadly that within 2 weeks of leaving treatment, 1/3 of the people that have just come into treatment are right back to drinking and using. That's not good. If we'll keep on tracking them, in 3 months, 60% of people are drinking and using. It's not good. If we'll track them for a full year, about 2/3 of people relapse in the first year of leaving treatment. Now, all of these people, they went to treatment, they got good treatment, they tried in treatment, they did their exercises in treatment, they made straight A's in treatment, people loved them in treatment, they helped others in treatment, they walked in treatment, they exercised in treatment, they did everything they possibly could to stay clean and sober, but they got out of treatment, and within 90 days of leaving treatment, 60% of people relapsed. So you're at the most hazard for relapsing in the first 90 days. That's why AA says, if you want to come to AA, if you want to quit drinking and using, if you want to drink and use, fine, drink and use. If you want to come to AA, fine. Start AA with 90 meetings in 90 days. They know that you're at the highest risk of relapse in the first 3 months of leaving treatment. Now let's kind of look at relapse kind of carefully here. There's really 3 reasons why people relapse. One is when you drink or use drugs, memories of drug use. And stress. Those juicy memories, remember those juicy memories of, you get off work and you've been in alcohol withdrawal all day, and man, you get off of there and you feel like, I'm going to go to the juice store. I'm going to go right for the juice because I need the juice. I feel it. I need the juice. Not that I want the juice or that it would be nice to have the juice, but I got to have the juice and I got to have it right now. So we need to put hurdles in the way of all those good memories, all those juicy memories of, when I was using, I was more sexy. When I was using, I was more social. I could talk to the president. Brock, how's it going? Do you need any help? I'm there for you, baby. Give me CNN. I was intelligent when I was drunk and using. People loved me. I was the life of the party. I was the reason people had for living. People loved me. They loved the person that I was when I was drunk, stoned, high, and they don't really like me very much when I'm clean. So we got a lot of what AA calls stinking thinking. I want you to replace that stinking thinking with a thought. When you find yourself in stinking thinking, in other words, when you're thinking about the option of drinking or using, and it will come, and along with that option will come a long list of good reasons for using. My back, oh God, my back. Anybody had a back like my back, they'd need Oxycontin. My back, oh God, my back. I go to the doctor and I'll tell the doctor how bad my back is. Oh, this is really bad. Now, the doctor's not going to understand if I tell him I'm a drug addict just out of treatment. They won't understand that. I don't want to confuse them. So I'll tell them just about my back, and then I'll let him or her decide what they're going to do about my poor bad back. And if they say, well, why don't you take some ibuprofen? I'll say, oh, good, I did that. Oh, yeah, I did that. Oh, I did. I took handful of that ibuprofen stuff. I took Tylenol, I took ibuprofen, I took aspirin, I took handfuls of that stuff, and it just didn't work, Doc. It just didn't work. What do you think? Is there anything else that might help me? Oh, this is bad. So the person trying to help us is going to kind of escalate a little bit pretty quick into the opioids, and they're going to escalate right in probably to hydrocodone. And then if we really whine and moan and groan a bit and have an epileptic seizure in their office on the floor and everything, they might escalate that up into oxycodone or Oxycontin. And if we really are crazy and screaming and we won't shut up, we're screaming in pain and screaming. It's not funny, crying, screaming, belly aching, bad. Then they might escalate, those little angels, they may escalate up into morphine. Oh, yeah. Okay. If you play with the option of using, AA says, if you play with the option of using, you will use. Because the enemy that lives inside of your head, that is smarter than you are, has got all of the reasons all lined up where using is the only option that will get you through the next few seconds of life. It won't be like oxygen or water or food or sex or being a good person or getting close to the Creator or anything like that. Is going to be dope. The only thing that's going to work. That's it. That's it. My options are pretty small. I'm only going to drink 2, and I'm going to pour the other 4 out, or I'm going to put them in the trash can or whatever, and then I'm going to go for my little ride. And we'll see what happens there. So 5% of patients relapse to test personal control. It is as if we're at the Strategic Air Command Omaha Air Show with the bombers. And over here, in a chain link thing, it says nuclear weapon, nuclear warhead, nuclear bomb, do not touch. about 5% of people relapse to test personal control. Now, think, what is the feeling that tends to drive you to alcohol or drug use? Some of you, it'll be anxiety, I'm anxious. There's others who will be in pain. There's others who will be depressed. There's others who will be bored. But there's some feeling that's connected right on to inaccurate thinking that leads me to going to the get so I can get and then I can go. So what is the feeling that tends to lead you to use, and what can you do other than using to help you with that feeling? One more time. There's a new thought that I want you to put in your life, in your head, and I never want you to forget it. And when the temptation comes and the craving comes and the opportunity comes, I want you to purposely pull this thought up out of your soul and present it to yourself. And the thought is this: drinking or drug use, whichever, is no longer an option for me. Now I'm in trouble. What are my options? About 20% of people in recovery relapse when they're in interpersonal conflict. We're not very good at interpersonal conflict. You know, we get in the truck, and we get in our truck, and we're mad as a hornet, and we've thrown things around, and we've yelled and screamed and gotten people by the throat, and we've done everything we know how to do, and, you know, we get in our pickup truck, and we squeal away, and where are we going? I'm going to get and go. You know, just right up the road. The world has assured you that drinking and even drug use is just right up the road. It's not far. That thing is sucking you into thinking, I can drink and use and get away with it. I can drink or use safely. But if you're an addict, you can't. We've done article after article after article of addicts who have relapsed. That would be about 2/3 of the people in this room, who are not stupid, and they learned in their last treatment exactly what they needed to do to stay clean and sober, but they had other ideas. Good ideas. A's, B's, C's, D's, E, F, and G ideas. Good ideas that just weren't the ideas that the treatment center taught me. They weren't those ideas, but they were my ideas. The thought. I want you to put in your head and bring it out when you're tempted, when you're in trouble, is drinking is no longer an option for me, or drug use is no longer an option for me, or drinking and drug use is no longer an option for me. It's not an option.